I swear I be trying to keep my mouth quiet. I be trying to stay out the way. I really do. But I just gotta ask one question. Who raised y'all? These young girls out here crashing out over dudes who don't even love them right. Getting talked down to, beat on, pimped out, pregnant, and left carrying all the way by themselves. And it's heartbreaking to watch. Not because they're weak, but because somewhere along the way, they were taught this was normal. And the truth hurts. This is learned behavior. And I'm so sick of watching it. Some of these girls grew up watching the mamas accept less than they deserved. They saw yelling instead of love, cheating instead of commitment, hands instead of hugs, pain dressed up as that's just how relationships are. So when it shows up in their own lives, it feels familiar. Familiar doesn't mean healthy, but it feels normal when that's all you've ever known. And these dudes, these little boys, come on now, a lot of them learned this too. They watch their daddies disrespect their mamas or watch their mamas get disrespected and nobody checked that shit. They learned control instead of communication, power instead of partnership, hurt instead of healing. So they grow up thinking masculinity is dominance and love is possession. And guess what? That ain't it. This cycle ain't random, y'all. It's taught and it's passed down and it's replayed over and over again from generation to generation. When is the generational curses gonna be broken? That's why the real question isn't why are these girls staying? Or why are these boys acting like this? The real question is who raised y'all? And most importantly, who's brave enough to break it? Who gonna break this damn cycle? Because healing starts when someone decides this ends with me. When a young woman realizes love shouldn't cost her dignity. When a man, or should I say when a young man learns strength isn't abuse, it's accountability. And it's sad, yes, but it's also a wake-up call. We can't keep normalizing trauma and calling it love. We have to raise better, teach better, and be better, or the next generation will be writing this same damn story, but just with different names, y'all. What is going on? Who raising these young girls? And even down to some of the women who raised y'all. What is wrong with y'all? Because what we're seeing right now is the aftermath of neglect, silence, and survival mode parenting. Kids raised on figure it out instead of guidance. Raised watching grown folks stay in situations they should have ran from. Not because they wanted to, but because they didn't know how to leave. Nobody taught these girls what healthy love looks like. Nobody told them they don't have to earn affection through suffering. So when a man hurts them and then apologizes, the emotional roller coaster feels like passion. When he controls them, they call it protection. When he isolates them, they call it loyalty. And by the time they realize it's abuse, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, they're already tied in emotionally, mentally, physically, sometimes with a baby on their hip. Or black eye. Pregnant, now you home. And these boys, these little boys, I say what I said, little boys, they weren't taught how to regulate emotions. They were told, man up, don't cry, handle your business. So anger became their only language. Violence became their release. Using women became a flex. And instead of being corrected, too many of them were excused. And that's just how boys are. No, that's how broken boys act when nobody intervenes. I said what I said. We gotta stop pretending this is just a them problem. This is a community problem, a family problem, a generational problem. Who's checking the kids when they're young? Who's teaching self-worth before the streets do? And who's modeling love that doesn't hurt? Because if we don't interrupt this now, we'll keep watching young girls bury their dreams for temporary validation and young boys turn into men who only know how to destroy what they touch. This ain't about shaming, y'all. It's about truth. It's about accountability. It's about choosing to raise children who don't confuse chaos with love. So again, I'm going to ask you, who raised y'all? And more importantly, who's raising the next ones differently? Who's raising the next generation? Y'all, I'm sorry, but I got to say something. Y'all young girls crashing out over these dudes. I'm sorry. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to yourself? You was born into this world by yourself if you wasn't a twin. You were born into this world by yourself. God gave you the activity of your limbs to walk away if you have to run away if you have to. If you're in an abusive relationship and you stand because he's the breadwinner and you ain't got nothing, girl, if you don't get off your ass, educate yourself, educate your mind, look for you some jobs. Y'all women let these men have too much control over y'all minds and over y'all lives. And this is another thing that I can't understand. How you let a broke ass nigga, a nigga who ain't even got his own, tell you what to do with your life? How you let a nigga who ain't even graduated high school tell you you don't need to go to college? How do you let a nigga tell you to stay home from work when he ain't even got a job? What in the entire hell is going on? How you allow a nigga to put you out his house? Girl, where's your mom and your daddy? Where's your grandma, your auntie? Where's who is raising y'all? Every day I get on the internet, I see somebody talking about he beating my ass. He whipping me day and night. And you still there? You still there? So if you still there, that tells me, why should I worry about your ass if you don't care? You didn't feel the need to leave? You didn't feel the need to go get you some help? Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. But you on the internet telling us, but you're not telling that to the police. So what you waiting on us to watch you get killed on live next time? Y'all running to the internet, but you're not talking to God. Y'all running to the internet, but you're not talking to the person who you live with, the person who you're dealing with. And that's the problem. Y'all don't know how to communicate. That's the whole issue. We do not know how to communicate. We talk at each other instead of to each other. And if you're feeling like the person you dealing with is screaming and hollering and they combative and got an attitude, I wouldn't want to talk to your ass either. But I really want to know who raised y'all. And let me say this to you older females, who I'm not the only person that's seeing this. I'm sure y'all see young girls crashing out every day over these little boys. Or should I say these, even out to the women. I've seen so many women out here killing men because you caught him with another woman. You killed him or you beating on him. Why y'all so damn masculine? Like your hands don't belong on that man. The moment he put his hands on you, it's the problem. I'm gonna call the police. Then you gonna want to stab him or shoot him. These men, y'all too soft. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't think no more. What happened to the old school men like my daddy? Like, man, my daddy wasn't no argumentative ass man. When my daddy saw my mama doing wrong, he was like, look here, Brenda, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I seen some things as a young girl. You know what I'm saying? But I had structure in my house. My parents were balanced. My parents were strong. Yeah, my daddy had a drug addiction, but that's okay. That was still my damn daddy. My daddy gave me the streets. My mama gave me books. So I got the book smarts and the street smarts. So I know who raised me. Cause I ain't gonna never let no nigga put me in a position to where I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna live, what I'm gonna eat, where I'm gonna go to school, or what I'm gonna drive, or if I could have a baby or not, and making me go to an abortion clinic. And y'all hoes crazy. If you don't get your ass up and do something with yourself, if you dropped out of school, you better drop your ass back in school. You ain't gotta let nobody know what you doing. Move in silence if that's the case. If you scared of this nigga, when he leave the house, you leave the house. You just give yourself a little time so he can get further away and you can have a plan A through Z. Stop posting up at these niggas' houses, moving in with these niggas. Get your own house. Get your own car. Get your own job. Get your own money. So you ain't got to worry about somebody feeding you. Because if you got to worry for somebody to feed you, you can let them starve you. With that being said, this is Miss T on the assignment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the videos. Bye.
Timing ain't rushing me. I trust what I can't trust. This delay is protecting me. What's mine gon' find me? Divine timing ain't stressing me. I'm calm in my way. I'd rather wait in peace and settle in haste. Divine time.